Thank you, David,
Thank you.
so much for the opportunity to be here and to say good morning to you and to America.
Everybody, thank you. Pat Collins is going to come in and join us right now.
I'm glad to see you're in one piece.
You bet.
I was getting scared there for a minute.
What? Sure, Pat, would you like to get in and try?
Oh, this isn't in the... No, you didn't tell me I had to do
this
this.
is a surprise
Pat,
for you.
when you're
Step
working
right inside.
live television,
Oh,
you have to
right.
understand.
Okay,
Right.
goodbye.
Put your toe right outside
David,
the front.
All right.
Yes.
The toe
Right
right
out
outside
here?
the door, just like that, through the little hole right
Through the
there.
little
Right through the hole.
Right
My
there.
feet are too big. All
And
right.
then one hand right here.
All
One
right.
hand right there, just like that, and with the other hand right down here.
Right.
Okay.
That's fine. And then we lock you on the
David,
inside.
I had
Place your
such a
face
nice
right out
present
here.
for you, too.
That's fine.
You're not getting a nice present.
We'll
David, for
continue
Christmas.
this. Pat may be
Taking
back
it
with
back
us tomorrow.
if I ever come
Gay
back.
and Harry Blackstone Jr., thank you so much. Go out and make it a wonderful day. Margot Kidder's going to be with us tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
Oh,
go
yes,
ahead,
but will I
Harry.
be
It's
here
okay.
tomorrow?
Sure,
That's
go
the
ahead,
big
Harry.
question. All right. Like that? Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Hold it here.
No.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Put your face straight out.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's try again. Right?
What do you mean? I can't do it like that.
You can't.
Tuesday, Fonzie's Bar humbugged by a Christmas surprise from his long-lost dad.
Whoa.
And Laverne and Shirley helped the less fortunate raise some Christmas cash. And Karen and Richard Carpenter celebrate Christmas with Christy and Jimmy McNichol and Gene Kelly.
Tomorrow.
Gift just right for her. A new way to wear fragrance. Chloe by Karl Lagerfeld in the exquisite Lily pendant.
Saks Fifth Avenue. All you want for Christmas at Altman's.
All the charm of colonial days at the only Williamsburg shop in New York, at Altman's. Find bright brass and gleaming pewter and more authentic reproductions. Choose Delft from Altman's Williamsburg shop. All the timeless beauty of our country's past at Altman's, the store with all you want for Christmas. Branches, too. Have a Yankee Doodle dandy holiday.
Altman's.
Man, would I love a beefsteak sandwich. Beefsteak? Coming right up.
When a guy's got a real appetite, he wants a real bread to go along with it. Beefsteak rye. Because beefsteak rye has the kind of delicious rye flavor, rich rye texture, and chewy rye crust that a man just loves. And a woman, too. Beefsteak rye. Nothing tastes better than a beefsteak sandwich.
John Mills on the morning movie at 10.
Good morning. This is AM New York. My name's Dan Ingram, and it's good to be with you. You know, they really ought to do a show about what goes on behind the cameras around here. Every day, they come up with a new host. They have the Tomb of the Unknown Host over there. And it's incredible what happens to get this thing together. Today, we have a fascinating show for you, I think. We're gonna arrange some flowers in a holiday bouquet. We have a man by the name of Michael Polychrones who's going to do that. And Michael is over there at the, what do they call it, the juice bar? I guess, no, that's the display center in TV talk. Anyway, Michael is putting things together, and they're hanging a microphone on him, and it's very frantic because they're worried about whether they can put him on the air or not. He's smiling a lot. Michael, I've got to ask you a question. Polychrones sounds like a lot of old ladies to me. Do you ever get kidded about your name?
Oh, sure, all the time.
Yeah? Okay. What are we doing today with all these flowers and
You
things
see
and
this
stuff?
lovely arrangement we have here, Dan. We're
That's
going
beautiful.
to start from scratch and put it together, and maybe someone at home can do the same thing. We're going to begin, and we have to start with something, and in this case, we've anchored a block of fluorofoam into this container with adhesive tape. Then we'll start adding some greenery to it. Now, the object of this is to cover up all of this fluorofoam with our greenery so that when we finish, we'll have just add all kinds of foliage here. We've got fir and holly and some pine so that we create a nice mixture of evergreen through the bouquet. Even put in a little bit of boxwood so that when we get it together, all we see is just a beautiful display of Christmas greenery. This greenery is going to let the attractive background for our flowers that we're going to add. And step by step, you'll find how you can achieve that end result of a lovely bouquet for Christmas. Using hollies, pines, evergreens, all these are long-lasting flowers, And if I can show it just gradually, you can see how we can create a mixture of textures with our various Christmas foliages.
Fantastic, Michael. That's really pretty. Don't go away. He's going to be there all during the show, adding more things to it. I want to give you our trivia question for the day. They do that every day here in AM New York. And since we have the man who played Jimmy Olsen on Superman on, our question is, what was the thing that Jimmy Olsen always said to Superman? What did he say? What was his verbal trademark? Now, you can call 955-9932, and we got something to give away to you. I want to talk about what else is on the show today while you're getting ready to call. Michael Polychrones will be doing his designing all during the day. Paul Kedar, Consul General of Israel, will be here. He'll be talking about what's going on in the Middle East, and it's very serious. George Ditomassi has electronic toys. He'll be telling you all about those new Giz widgets that cost up to $200, which is pretty heavy for a toy. Jack Larson. Jack Larson was Jimmy Olsen of Superman. He's going to be talking about what it's like to have people think you're something you're not. People associating you with a role you played, and it can be very frustrating. Judy Clemens-Rude of the New York Times. She has an article in Esquire. It's the cover article, and is it okay to be a sex object? I would love to be a sex object, I think, but I never have been, so we'll talk about that. And for you guys who are shaving and on your way out the door, don't go, because we have the 25th anniversary Playboy Playmate. And she is a lovely lady with a very interesting name, and we'll get into that too. Right now, let's talk about trivia, and let's see. I got to get off, see if there's a line lit. Yes, there's a line lit. Hello there.
Good morning.
You're on AM New York.
Was it Jeepers?
Absolutely. The first time out. You got it. Jeepers, Mr. Kent. That's what he always said. Well, you won something spectacular. What's your name, by the way?
Rosemary.
Rosemary? Rosemary, what are you doing right now aside from watching television?
I'm ready to go shopping.
You're ready to go shopping? Don't go yet. Wait, we have a lot more show for you. I'm going to put you on hold, and they'll tell you how you're going to get your prize. Well, I tell the folks on the air about it. It's a dinner for two at Akbar Indian Restaurant at 475 Park Avenue, where the finest Mughali and Tandoor specialties will tempt your palate. I thought Mughali and Tandoor were linebackers myself, but anyway, whether or not you're familiar with Indian cuisine, you're in for a tasty treat. Joining us now about something very serious is Mr. Paul Kedar, who is the Consul General of Israel. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Dan.
Welcome to AM New York. And I want to know what's going on. What are the main points in the treaty that the Israelis find objectionable to the Egyptians?
Mostly the changes. The changes. We have a treaty which was more or less formulated on the 11th of November, which we're ready to sign now. And we find that the changes which are being brought into this treaty are quite unacceptable.
Well, what changes are they?
Let me explain, perhaps. The treaty aims at bringing peace between Egypt and Israel. It stands by itself. It has to stand by itself. It is a peace treaty which comes to replace a state of war after 30 years of war.
Right.
The things which were agreed upon at Camp David form the very basis of this treaty. And today we're being asked to introduce in this treaty certain conditions, certain limitations which we do not find acceptable. I will tell you what they are. I think the first one is about the famous Article 6. Egypt claims that it cannot put this treaty on a priority basis with the other treaties she has already. In other words, she wants to keep to herself the right of breaking the treaty if she decides that we have been involved in a war with another Arab state, which means that this treaty becomes empty of substance if Egypt can at any time invoke a previous treaty with Syria, with Jordan, with Lebanon, or with anybody else and say we will now go to war against Israel because there is a state of war between Israel and Syria.
I see.
The second thing is the timetable.
Yes, that's called linkage, isn't it?
That's called the linkage.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to accept that a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel should be subjected to the conditional behavior of the second part of the Camp David Agreement, which is a framework for peace in the Middle East and the autonomy of the West Bank and the Gaza area.
There's something with relation to the West Bank that I must ask. I think there have been statements made on both sides that are a bit intemperate. I believe Menachem Begin, in referring to Anwar Sadat's demands for the West Bank, said something like, it's the same as Adolf Hitler's demands for the Sudetenland. Don't you think that kind of talk really holds up negotiations?
I didn't hear. What did you say? What did you say about Sudetenland?
He said Mr. Sadat's request for the West Bank was similar to Adolf Hitler's requests for the Sudetenland.
I didn't hear the remark. I don't think it's very, it's a possible one. He may have said it. This is not the issue. The issue is not demanding the Sudetenland. What is happening is that, Sadat is not demanding the West Bank, excuse me.
Yes.
But what's happening is that we believe that there is a process of autonomy which has to be started between us and the Arabs living in the West Bank. Now, this has to be given the fair chance of getting off the ground. If you impose any conditions to this negotiation or any target date, and we know what target dates are, they become very quickly mandatory dates, then we find ourselves in a position where the peace treaty with Egypt will be in the hands of those who will or will not allow autonomy to take place, which is an untenable situation.
I understand what you mean, but Prime Minister Begin has accused the United States of being biased towards Egypt. I just wonder if, and yesterday our senator from New York, Jacob Javits, said the same thing. Do you think that tends to stall the negotiations?
I think it does.
Yeah.
And I agree with Prime Minister Begin and with Senator Javits.
You do?
Yes, I think that there's a certain non-even-endedness on this question. You see, let's face it, this peace treaty comes because Israel has been in a very precarious security situation for 30 years. We are the ones very worried about our security. There's no security risk or danger to Egypt out of the whole Egyptian-Israeli situation. Well, there's a peace treaty now, a formulated peace treaty. The ones who are making all the concessions as far as the security is concerned, this is the bottom line, the security and survival of the nation is Israel. We're giving up the Sinai, we're giving up sovereignty, we're coming back to the international border.
But the Egyptians say that they are the ones who gave up everything at Camp David, and now they appear to be retrenching a little bit.
This is where we think that perhaps you're not quite even-handed.
The impression I got from the media was that during those Camp David negotiations, that Anwar Sadat gave up a lot, and that Menachem Begin was a very hard negotiator.
Dan, allow me
and that now that it's flip-flopped the other way. Is that your impression too?
It is not. I'm not objective in this
Do you think the media was wrong in saying that?
I think the media was wrong. I think that the whole attitude was wrong. Let me say it again. The only real hardware given up is the real estate of Sinai. The whole of Sinai is being restituted to Egyptian sovereignty. This was the greatest assurance Israel has for security. We're taking one hell of a risk in giving this back.
But it never really was yours in the first place. I mean, you took it. Isn't it a matter of restoring?
Let me remind you how we took it.
Go ahead.
Shall I remind you how we took it?
I understand how you took it.
We took it in 1967 because there was a definite and direct threat to the survival of Israel.
I understand your position.
Since then we have kept it, and we said we'll give it back, and now we're giving it back. But we won't give it back for peace. We will not give it back. It's not a question of unilaterally withdrawing from the Sinai just in order to make a certain pleasant action to the media in America.
Doesn't it all boil down to one word, trust?
Maybe. Maybe allow me to say after 30 years of war, we're a bit edgy on the trust. We want to have certain guarantees. And those guarantees we feel are in the behavior and the attitude of the Egyptian government. If it wants peace, we will have peace. Then it will be ambassadors. They will have to trust the fact that relations will be taking place. They will have not to look for a loophole in the revision of the treaty. Why should they want today to revise after 5 years the security arrangements of the treaty? Why give it today a temporary nature, a temporary character?
I understand what you're saying. I don't think that really is, that one issue is going to stop what's happening. But I am interested in whether or not the folks at home would have some questions. How about you? What do you think could happen? Do you think there is some way of getting these peace talks started again? Mr. Kedar and I will be waiting for you and your call right after a couple of words.
I'm Christopher Plummer, here at the Metropolitan Museum, where the cultural event of the century is taking place. It is here that the great Tutankhamun exhibition was originally conceived and organized.
How the treasures were used to guarantee immortality for the ancient Egyptians, and a look at them as Egyptians see them today. Requiem for a Boy King, Tutankhamun, special, Tuesday night at 7:30.
The Macmillan Dictionary for Children. It could be one of the most important books a child will ever own. It uses clear, simple language to tell children what words mean and how to use them. Packed with full-color illustrations, it's a book filled with information and a book filled with fun. Give a gift your child will never outgrow. The Gift of Words. From Macmillan.
going places, Pierre Cardin has created the fragrance the well-dressed man is wearing. Pierre Cardin Man's Cologne, part of the Pierre Cardin personal fragrance collection for men. Pierre Cardin Man's Cologne. The fragrance the well-dressed man is wearing is the fragrance the well-dressed man should be given. Available in handsome gift sets for Christmas from $10 to $26.
Home for Christmas. You can plan on.
Isn't that pretty? That's Michael Polychrome's putting together our floral display, and it's amazing at this time of peace in the world, this season of peace, that we have a situation that really scares me, and I'd like to know what you think about it. Good morning, you're on AM New York.
Yes, my question for the Consul General is, why hasn't it been made public that the giving up of the West Bank will leave Israel open to an artillery attack, just artillery, ordinary artillery, that would split the country in half, because that narrow strip would allow people from the outside, the Arabs, the PLO, to shell that whole center section of Israel with a single heavy artillery battery. I'd like to know what his reaction to not making that public is.
You began to speak about that before.
Yes, well, nobody's talking right now about giving back the West Bank. The proposal is now one of autonomy for the West Bank.
Mm-hmm.
But you're absolutely right, whoever is it who is calling. The giving back of the West Bank would create a situation which is absolutely insufferable. It would mean, once again, having guns 7 miles from Tel Aviv. It would mean having the country a constant danger of being cut in two. Mm-hmm. And this is why it is right now completely out of the question. I think it will for a long time. We're also refusing, because of this, a PLO state in the West Bank. No, but the autonomy answer or proposal is what we believe to be a compromise solution which will give the Palestinian Arabs in the West Bank the possibility of giving expression to their national interest and their national culture, at the same time maintaining under our control the security of Israel.
Do you really feel that that Palestinian state, or whatever it's going to be called, on the West Bank might itself be a threat to Israel?
I'm sure that a Palestinian state would be a threat to Israel.
Okay, let's get another question. Good morning, you're live on AM New York. Hi. Hello there.
Hello.
Yes, what's your question?
Yes, I'd like to comment on the peace talks. Was this a charade by President Carter to be reelected in 1980? Because after all, before the peace talks began, he had only 20 or 21%.
I can hardly hear you. Can you speak up?
Yes, he only had like 20% of the population in the United States behind him.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you. I wonder if indeed you think that on our political situation that Mr. Carter was just trying to get votes by this whole thing. Do you think it was that callous an exercise?
I would prefer not to comment on this.
I would understand that you might prefer not to. Good morning. You're live on AM New York.
Good morning.
Hi.
I have two questions to ask.
All right.
One has to do with how can Sadat speak about the West Bank when he has nothing to do with the West Bank? And the second question has to do with Sinai. How can you, Mr. Kada, say that you are giving back the Sinai, which was never Egypt to begin with? If you remember, even in the Bible, they walked for 40 years through the Sinai, and the Egyptians did not follow them. The Egyptians just took it at the end of the 47 or 48 war, didn't they?
Well, what is your comment about that?
This is a very complex question.
Indeed, it is.
First of all, I didn't say to give back. I mentioned, I think, to restituting Egyptian sovereignty over the Sinai. Mm-hmm. Your correspondent is not quite right. The Sinai has been part of Egyptian sovereignty ever since 1906. There was a treaty between the Turks and the British which gave the British then, together with Egypt, the sovereignty over Sinai. But the question of the Sinai, I think, today has been accepted in international law as being part of the Egyptian sovereignty, and the boundary between Sinai and what was mandated Palestine is the international boundary between Israel and Egypt. Instead, the question is a very good one and can be applied to the West Bank with much greater accuracy and with much greater pertinence. The West Bank really belongs to no one right now.
I see. It's kind of a no man's land, but unfortunately there are people living there, and we have to deal with that. Let me get another question here. Hello there. You're on AM New York.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Susana Eldao. I'm a tourist in the United States. I come very often here. I did my studies at Columbia University. I am shocked by the attitude of the American media and the public. Would you ever consider giving back your country to the Indians?
There happens to be a law, there's a court action right now in Maine which is attempting to do just that. Did you know that?
Well, that was my only question.
Okay, I understand how you feel. It's a complex issue. Mr. Kedar, I guess it's kind of like trying to peel an onion. Every time you take off a layer, there's another one underneath. What's your prediction? How soon do you think this will come to conclusion?
I wouldn't like to predict on time. I think it will come to a conclusion. I'm sure that we will find either in the present framework the answers to the questions raised, or if not, we'll have to renegotiate. But on the whole, I think that the two sides today are too committed to peace for it to break down completely.
I'd like to share your sanguine attitude, but frankly, I'm worried. At all events, Mr. Kedar, thank you for being here. Next, George Ditomassi, who has electronic toys, a lot of boops and beeps and fun and games, and we'll be right here on AM New York after these messages.
Love's creates the comfortable diaper. New Love's disposable diapers from Procter & Gamble. The diaper created for your baby's comfort.
You can tell Love's is comfortable just by looking at him.
Love's new hourglass design cradles your baby in comfort. Love's has flexible gathers for flexible fit. Now every move your baby makes is comfortable. Love's fits, no sags, no gaps. Other diapers sag, leave gaps. Love's comes in small, medium, and large. So absorbent, now you can buy one size to help keep your baby comfortably dry day or night. Love's, the comfortable diaper, is here.
Your baby's comfort begins with Love's.
Man, would I love a beefsteak sandwich.
Beefsteak? Coming right up. When a guy's got a real appetite, he wants a real bread to go along with it. Beefsteak rye. Because beefsteak rye has the kind of delicious rye flavor, rich rye texture, and chewy rye crust that a man just loves. And a woman, too. Beefsteak rye. Nothing tastes better than a beefsteak sandwich.
Today on the 4:30 movie, and Margaret in The Swinger.
You know something, Sergeant Hooker? You are the very nicest man on the whole Los Angeles Vice Squad.
And you see this? It's a tub. Take a bath.
Of course I'm gonna take a bath.
And Margaret is The Swinger. Today on the 4:30 movie.
WABC-TV and the Citizens Committee for New York City love New York in every language, especially hieroglyphs.
Herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful
Hello there. Isn't that pretty? I wish I could make bows like that. I can't even tie my tie that way. You know, this Star Wars phenomenon is going on. Futuristic toys are rapidly wiping out baby dolls and all the traditional things. I remember I had a teddy bear when I was a kid, and that's all I ever had. I had my other thing. It was a stick, and my stick was anything I wanted to be. Today, we have in front of us an array of goodies, and we have with us George Ditomassi, the Senior Vice President of Marketing for the Milton Bradley Company, and you got a whole bunch of electronic games here, and I'm ready to play. Tell me something. Why are electronic games overpowering the more traditional things?
Well, the consumers reacted strongly, Dan, to these kinds of toys, even though the price points are much higher than they're used to paying.
Yeah, they cost a fortune. I saw one of these things in the store, and it was $150.
Well, that's not anything we have here today, but they range up to $200 to $300, as a matter of fact.
$300, my Lord.
But they do a lot more than the games and toys that we were used to as children.
Yeah? What is this little thing over here?
This is codenamed Sector. It's a search and destroy naval game.
It's got crayons on there.
Yeah, because you can plot longitude and latitude and try and find out with a computer readout where the submarine is lurking under here so that he doesn't sink you.
That's kind of entertainment. Do some of these toys educate too?
Sure, some of them do, yes. That's entertainment. This is Starbird, which is a spaceship.
Yeah.
And if you turn it on and then just point it in the air, point it upward, like that. You'll notice an ascending noise. That'll reach a very high pitch. You can hold that pitch by leveling the plane off, the spaceship off.
And then we do this. I love it. How do you turn it off?
Right on the bottom.
Fantastic. I've got to have one of those. I wish I had one of those in my car. It'd be great, you know, to get that guy out of the way in front of you.
Now, the amazing thing is that that is powered by a computer that is reacting as an extension of the child's arm.
It has a computer in there?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It has a computer chip.
What's a computer chip?
This is, yeah, this little piece of metal. All of this is housing. This is the chip. The little piece of metal in the middle. And I think for someone who's not technically inclined, for me, I have to say, 20 years ago, it would have taken a room 12 by 12 full of computers to do what this chip will do today.
Isn't it amazing why spending all that money on going into outer space, what we've come up with? What's this thing here?
This is Comp 4.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
You got to figure out the sequence on that.
Right, by pressing R, it'll give you a little bit of sizzle with a lot of lights going on, and finally it comes up and says, I'm ready. It's programmed one.
It's not ready.
Yeah, the light's on. They can't see with the camera, I don't think, the lights. But it has 32,000 different 5-digit numbers at random.
32,000?
Yeah. By making entries into Comp 4, it will give you back, it will play back clues, and you can then, by a series of deduction, figure the number.
Is that what you call that educational? Or
It's a cerebral game, yeah, it is. It teaches logic. Unquestionably, this, more than the first two, would be far more educational, cerebral.
Seems to me that's the kind of a toy a member of Mensa would give his kid.
Yeah.
All right, we got Merlin over here.
Merlin plays 6 different games.
Let's leave it right down here where they get a good shot at it.
And when we turn it on, and press game 1, we would be ready to play tic-tac-toe. And if you put something in the middle, I'll show you how it's played.
I'll bet number 3.
Give the computer his turn, and
computer
he
hits
here.
the middle. Oh, that's I
have to go against him.
I got to go against him. I have. There we go.
Okay, and we press this.
Computer blocks me.
Blocked you.
Now I got to block the computer.
Computer's turn.
Computer's turn. Let's see. I go. No, wait a minute. I can't go there.
Blinking is the.
That's the one. Okay.
Let's see what he does. He blocks you again.
I block him.
And we got a tie.
We got. I tied with a computer. How about that?
So
Fantastic.
at least the computer didn't beat you.
You can't. That's not a very bright computer, though, right? I mean,
you play him enough, he'll take you.
How are these games conceived and developed? I mean, is someone somewhere sitting in a room saying if and what and things like that?
Some very, very bright people are sitting in rooms.
I did a commercial a long time ago. I do commercials for a living, and I did a commercial where they hadn't developed the toy yet. They just did a commercial with animation and said, would you like this toy? Is really what it was. And then they did a test on the commercial.
Yes.
And they found out they was interested in that toy, so then they made the toy. Does that happen frequently?
Yeah, we do it. We wouldn't bring a product such as this to market without having tested the commercial, the product, the name, almost every aspect that you could think of.
Some of these things, like there's a lot of little pieces and things. Is there a safety factor involved in some of them?
We're very conscious of safety. As a matter of fact, when you get below 5 years of age, in terms of the age of the child playing with it, we're far more conscious than when you get above that age. But safety is a very big consideration when you market a toy.
This one I've seen. I was on the air on WABC radio doing my show, and my engineer brought one of these in, and we had a lot of dead air because we were playing with this thing. Now, I couldn't play it then, but I'm going to try it again.
Okay. Now, you're just going to follow what Simon says. And we start him. Right. He's going to give you a light and a sound. Green.
All right. There, I did that. 2. Okay.
Oh, you're lucky. You got yourself a good one.
Ah.
Now you're trying to get in this mode to 8 different responses, and it'll say that you, Dan Ingram, are a winner. Speeds up after 5. 6. 2 more, Dan. One more. Now, You got
win.
the 8. You got the 8.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I could have put it on skill level 4, which meant
Oh, you mean I
31.
only got it on the...
You got the very easy.
I got the chimpanzee level.
Everybody has to start. Everybody starts somewhere.
See, I figured you would have started me at 2.
No. I figured I'd give you a chance against our easiest mode.
You know what this looks like? You ever sit in class and draw the lines and the A's and the numbers? And
Sure.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it was a pencil and paper game, but now we're going to eliminate the cheating with the computer chip. Let me move it over where you can see it a little bit better.
How did you cheat? I always trusted the guy in the chair next to me.
Did you ever win?
No.
That's why.
Oh.
Okay. We load it in, and I'm just putting in, and that's a miss.
I thought there'd be a bomb blast on the end.
Okay, that's a miss. Now, if I were to load in and give you a hit, and then put it on go, and
in
now
other words, this guy can't see what that guy's doing.
can't see. He's entered his fleet into the computer by doing this, and now we're ready to play. And I'm going to hit, and if you'll watch here, you'll see an explosion.
Fantastic.
Which means I hit him on the other side, and it's the end of the game, so...
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Gee whiz, that's fantastic. I get the feeling if you press all the buttons, the toilet will flush upstairs or something. That's phenomenal.
Could happen.
What are these things, these particular things, what cost range are they?
Probably $20 to $40
Well, that's
in
not
that
too
area.
bad. How do these games differ from last year's electronic games? There are a lot of things last year that I just don't see anymore. There seems to be a pretty high rate of attrition in the toy business.
Yes, it's not unusual to have an item last 2 or 3 years. If you can do better than that, you're doing very well. I would say they're more sophisticated, they do more, and there's far more of them this year.
How do you shop for an electronic game?
Well, fortunately, the retailer has put displays on a counter so that most of these games can be played in the retail stores, so you get a good idea of what they do for the money.
Okay, thank you. You've given us quite an insight into these fun games. I just might take this home myself. That's fun. George Ditomassi, thanks for being here. And next, Jack Larson, the original Jimmy Olsen, will be with us on AM New York.
Jungle Cruise at Silver Springs, we can't tell you what you'll see because there are hundreds of different animals roaming free on the riverbanks. You can watch a snake show and feed the fish on the glass-bottom boat ride. Then explore a jungle. The one thing we can tell you about Silver Springs is you'll love it. It's a constant surprise.
The majority of burglaries in your community are by forced entry through the front door. Now you can get security with multi-lock 4-way deadbolt system and pick-resistant cylinder installed in your door. Depending on the type of door, as many as 6 independent steel bolts emerge from inside and penetrate deep into the frame and floor on all 4 sides. Multi-lock 4-way security available throughout the metropolitan area. For information, call 889-9545, 889-9545.
The best tasting potato chips don't come from a store.
They're homemade.
Introducing the potato chip machine. Just put the potato in and spin. Look how fast and easy it is. Soak potatoes in cold water, dry, then fry for just a minute.
Great chips.
The potato chip machine is also a fancy food cutter for carrots, cucumbers, apples, even onions. This Christmas, you save over $3. It's now only $6.
Available now at Woolworth Wilco, Genovese Drug, and Jamesway.
You can buy them great Christmas presents lots of places. At NBO, you save money, too. What brings you to NBO for Christmas? There's so much to choose from.
We saw the same jacket at the mall for twice the price. I bought my daddy a tie.
With all the gifts I gotta buy, I'd be crazy to go anywhere else.
I hope my wife's watching and buys my present here.
This place is fabulous.
National Brands Outlet, NBO.
Paramus, North Plainfield, Clifton, Queens, Carl Place, Yonkers, and Westport.
We want to wipe out cancer in your lifetime. Give to the American Cancer Society.
Isn't that pretty? We're going to keep building up our thing there until it's all ready. I've already been talking with our guest here, Jack Larson. Superman opened, as you know. This is Jack Larson. Superman premiered last week, got mixed reactions from the critics. And the original Jimmy Olsen from television Superman fame, Jack Larson, is here. Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie, and it's been deliberate. I didn't want to be in the position of commenting on it. I noticed when they remade King Kong, that anything that Fay Ray said sounded like sour apes, and I didn't want to be in the position of speaking any sour kryptonite. So I thought I'd wait and go enjoy the film later when I wouldn't be being interviewed. No, I haven't seen it.
I understand. I've looked forward to meeting you this morning.
And
I read a book called Superman, Serial to Serial, and there was one thing in there that you're complaining about that I guess you at home, you don't realize what goes on. They kept getting you wet a lot in that show.
Oh, well, it's my major memory of Superman. We were Perils of Pauline, and eventually Jimmy carried the ball. I don't know how it happened, but we shot it from 1951 to 1959, and they developed over a 3-year period. Jimmy was always in water. I mean, the water was I was tied, and the water would slowly rise, or I was anywhere, always wet, and I started to get colds, and they didn't care that I had a cold. And once you're wet in a sequence, you stay wet for 3 days. You know, they have to wet you down because they keep your clothes wet. So I would be wet and then wet again, and every day on a cold soundstage. So finally I told him, look, I know you love me and everything, but can you love me as a dry actor? And I'm to be dry from now on. So I really wouldn't. I'd let him put a little bit of water on me, but I wouldn't. But I was always in a pond with, kind of jail bars at the end of a cage or something.
I remember the water coming up like this
incredible.
Once you're all tied up.
And once I did one with wonderful old actor Sterling Holloway.
And bless you.
Yeah, and Jimmy decided we were somewhere in a closet, but there was a sprinkler, to stop fires up above. And Jimmy got the idea if he'd get on Sterling Holloway's shoulders and light a match, get the sprinklers. And so then the water slowly, the sprinkler came over in this closet. And it was...
You should have gone into the Screen Actors Guild and made a protest. I mean, that's certainly not within the code, is it? Drowning actors?
No, I had Superman to save me. That was the...
I got a question for you. You've come away from the role of Jimmy Olsen pretty healthy, I guess, but I interviewed Richard Crenna a long time ago, and if you say the words Oogie Pringle to him, he gets angry, and I don't blame him. How do you feel about people saying, Jimmy Olsen?
Well, for years I felt very strained about it. I would now regard my attitude as neurotic about it, because I wouldn't do, for many, many, many years, I wouldn't do any press. When I had the opera that I believe we're going to talk about. When I had it open, I was asked to do the Dick Cavett show. It was a Metropolitan Opera Commission. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do anything to associate myself with Superman. I just felt that I was typed. It ended my career as an actor.
Do you feel sad about that?
No, I'm glad it ended my career as an actor.
You're doing so many other things.
Yes, but the thing was that later, after not doing anything and trying to obliterate it from my life, the show stayed on the air. I am recognizable still. I mean, when I go on the streets or subways or stuff, people know me, Jimmy Olsen. And gradually, after not having responded to it and just saying, no, I won't do anything, this is out, people began to like me who I wanted to know. I began to get an extraordinary energy I began to be aware of from people, young college professors, terrific people, and they would give me a warmth that didn't come from my other work, my writing, my whatever. It came from being Jimmy Olsen. And people were open to me, and I began to realize, well, you're nuts to obliterate this, that it's coming to you, and it comes from that. And no, I'm grateful for it now.
Okay, let's
totally grateful.
If you're not annoyed, I'd like to show this picture. Now tell me about that picture.
Tell me about it. Well,
is there anything particular happening there? Is that just the usual photo for the files?
They asked Jimmy to shoot a photograph. Actually, oddly enough,
he wasn't a photographer, was he?
No.
I was going to say that's his.
And I'm sure I burned my fingers on the bulb doing it.
I've got another picture here, which I'm going to get out of the stack in front of me. It looks very friendly there.
Yes,
very subdued, staring off into the horizon.
Yes, beyond the blue horizon with Jimmy Olsen and Clark Kent.
And Clark Kent.
Brave against the world.
And here we go again with the rolled up pictures. When was this picture taken?
Just at the end of the series, I would never pose for any press shots at the time. They don't have one of me in a bow tie, for instance.
Really?
Yeah, I just wouldn't. They didn't pay me anything to do the show. I got at like $200 and then $300. So I wouldn't do that, and that was our 5th anniversary.
That was the 5th anniversary of the show. They're putting that up right now.
But
With
when
the
we
cake
finished
and
the
everything.
show...
How long did you do the show? It was about 6 or 7 years, wasn't it?
7 years. I had a 7-year contract, and I served out every minute of it. And as I said...
Did you try to get out of your contract?
No. We didn't do that kind of thing then. James Arness did it, you know, in Gunsmoke. I wish I had, because I was very popular. They put out comic books. They did...
I know there was
everything.
As
a matter of fact, Jimmy became the most popular thing on the show, but it just never occurred to me to do that.
Try and break it.
So I lived with a $350 an episode payment.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
No residuals?
That was the best I got.
Before we're running out of time, and I want to talk to Jack Larson. You've been doing librettos, you've been writing plays, you're obviously a man of intellect and warmth, which is great to see. What's coming up? What's happening next?
Well, I have a work being done at the Hollywood Bowl this summer. The LA Philharmonic's doing my new adaptation of a work called Lelio by Berlioz. It's the other half of the Symphonie Fantastique. They're doing it, I believe, with Ben Gazzara. And I do a lot of work with composers. I had an opera with Virgil Thompson.
Yes.
That you have it's published,
The
which is
libretto
very
is
rare.
somewhere, yes.
It's the only opera, I believe, to be published anywhere in the world in the last decade.
That's Lord of the Rings.
Called Lord Byron. And Virgil
Byron.
Thompson, who's America's greatest composer of operas, did 2 previous with Gertrude Stein, and I did this one. John Houseman directed it at Lincoln Center. Alvin Ailey did the ballets. And it's published. And in German, too.
And in German, too?
Yeah. I have Virgil won it with a German translation. And
beautiful.
I did, had a premiere Monday night with the composer Gerhard Samuel. It's a monodrama for chamber symphony and voice. That's the last in a cycle, the first of which, The Relativity of Icarus, just closed here with the Joffrey Ballet, became a ballet.
You're fantastic. You're busy. You're doing all kinds of things. It's great to see you. It's great to meet you.
Well,
it's great to know you.
You too.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next, we got Judy Clemens-Rude and a Playboy playmate of the 25th magnitude. Stay where you are.
Who's got my pickle?
We've got your pickle, the pickle named Heinz.
They gotta be crunchy.
It's so crunchy and it tastes so fine.
It's gotta be juicy.
We've got the taste for pickle lovers like you.
At Heinz, we do have the pickle lovers love. It's crispy, crunchy, and juicy.
They do got my pickle.
We've got your pickle. It's the pickle named Heinz.
Give him a gift and more this year with Gray Flannel by Jeffrey Bean, a timeless blend of manly fragrances, and receive a bonus 1-ounce bottle of cologne. Or give him the contemporary masculine mix of Givenchy Gentleman and get a travel-size eau de toilette as a bonus. And from Eau Sauvage, a handsomely styled folding attaché umbrella is his for only $6.50.
At Macy's, we have so much to give.
You deserve the spice of life. You deserve the spice of life.
You deserve the spice of life for elegant dining. A menu to please and prices that'll make you happy. Located at West Broadway in Woodmere. Private parties, too. Call 516-295-0200.
You deserve the spice of life. You deserve the spice of life.
There's room for one more at the Spice of Life.
Introducing the Ronco ice cream machine. It makes the best ice cream you've ever tasted. Why?
Because it's homemade.
It's lots of fun and everyone can join in. Simply add cream and your favorite fresh fruits and nuts. You can make cherry vanilla, chocolate ripple, any flavor. The Ronco ice cream machine works automatically while it's in your freezer. It makes a quart and a half of delicious ice cream. A perfect Christmas gift, and it's only...
Available at Woolworth Wilco, Genovese Drug, and Jamesway.
Hello, this is Hank Aaron. Why not make your gift giving easier this year? Give your dollars to the NAACP Dollars for Christmas campaign.
A newborn king to see, our finest gifts we bring, to lay before the
walking, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum.
Rum-pa-pum-pum. I love it. Oh, that's nice. Makes you feel mellow. And we'll be back with a wrap-up on how the whole thing looks when it's all done before we leave the air today. On the current cover of Esquire magazine is a very sexy lady, a model with a very sexy outfit, the kind of thing if you're a fella about 16, you look at it and hope all the strings break. You know, you just kind of pray. It's like the guy who had the big, huge calendar, and it was one of the early Playboy calendars, and it was supposed to be Eve, and all there was a leaf there, and he couldn't wait for autumn. But anyway, thanks. The title reads, The Year of the Lusty Woman. It's okay to be a sex object again. And the article is written by Judy Clemesrud. Clemesrud?
Right.
Clemesrud. I've seen your byline in New York Times for about 10 years you've been there, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I never heard your name pronounced, so forgive me for mispronouncing it before. I apologize. But I have with us also the lady who is the centerfold of the 25th anniversary issue of Playboy. And her name is Candy Loving. Is that your real name?
It's my real name.
Is your real married name or your real single name?
No, it's my maiden name.
It's your maiden name. Okay, Candy Loving. I got to ask a question of both you ladies. Do women today enjoy being women?
I do. They seem to, judging from the way they're dressing these days.
They're dressing very sexy. There's a lot of jiggling going on, and not just on the TV, too. Is that because women feel more sure of themselves as individuals, or is it because we're having some kind of backlash from the men who run the fashion world?
Both theories are being expounded, but I think a lot of it is that women are very confident. They've gained confidence. They're moving into jobs now, so if they want to be, they feel they can be whatever they want to be, and many want to be a traditional woman. As long as they're not just a sex object, many feel it's all right to look and dress the way that they want to.
But don't you think it's coming right back to being the very same thing again? I mean, if you're going to wear sexy clothes, you're going to be a sex object, right?
But as long as you can be something else too, a sex subject.
Okay. Do you feel like you're a sex object? You posed in the centerfold of Playboy. You were.
No, I really don't.
Naked.
Yes. No, I really don't.
How can you possibly say you're not a sex object
well,
if
maybe
you're naked
other
in the centerfold of Playboy?
Maybe other people see me as that. I don't feel like that.
Do you enjoy turning men on?
No, but I enjoy looking very pretty.
Well, you do look very pretty.
Thank you.
Is it nice?
So that I can show that I am something else. I am an intelligent woman, and I think about other things than taking my clothes off.
Intelligence is the new sexy thing, isn't it, Jake? Used to be there were dumb blondes, and then there were the women who kind of wore Chairman Mao-like outfits and were very unfeminine. And now you got to be pretty, and you got to be sexy, and you got to be intelligent too. Where'd that big change come from?
I think it came from the women's movement. It really did.
But why is it sexy to be intelligent? Why does it make you sexy? Is it because you're making conscious choices?
It's because you're interested in other things besides just trying to be sexy. And I really think that makes a difference.
I don't know. It seems to me there are an awful lot of guys out there who are sitting home with a can of beer and a shot saying, hey, baby, you know. They don't care whether you're making choices. They don't care about your preferences. They just want to live.
But I don't have to deal with them either. They're not the kind of guys that I choose to.
I understand, but in everyday life, we all have to deal with a lot of people we don't like to deal with. Doesn't that change the complexion of your life on a day-to-day basis? Do you really think that less people will have at you if they know that you're intelligent?
But I don't have to listen to them have at me, so.
Well, I think a lot of those guys are very insecure, which is one of the big problems with the women's movement. Is that still going on? Are men still insecure in their role? Do they still feel this changing role is challenging and frightening to them?
Well, the men still make remarks on the street, but I think women are so confident now in their new jobs and that doesn't bother them so much anymore, whereas 5 years ago it did.
I got a question for you, and I think this is true. I think, personally, my opinion is that one of the reasons why the sexy clothes are coming back has nothing to do with the women's movement. It has to do with the guys who design clothes saying, we want to sell clothes every year, and if you're going to go take a job somewhere, we don't want you going to business with a suit and a tie that you can keep for 10 years. Is that part of it? What do you think?
Her article points that out, and I think that could be part of it.
Yeah.
I do.
I think it's a very practical element of it, as a matter of fact. I think it becomes, when it comes right down to it, I think it's money is the root of a lot of these things. And coming right down to it, right after we have a couple of commercials, we're going to have questions to Judy Clemens-Rude and Candy Loving. And what would you like to ask? And make it nice, okay? Think about it. We'll be right back.
Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city.
Ring-a-ling, hear them ring.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Baby's comfort begins with Love's.
Love's creates the comfortable diaper. New Love's disposable diapers from Procter & Gamble. The diaper created for your baby's comfort.
Look at Love's. I've never seen such a comfortable diaper.
Love's.
Love's new hourglass design cradles your baby in comfort.
Love's.
Love's has flexible gathers for flexible fit. Now every move your baby makes is comfortable. Love's fits, no sags, no gaps. Other diapers sag, leave gaps. Love's comes in small, medium, and large. So absorbent, now you can buy one size to help keep your baby comfortably dry day or night. Love's, the comfortable diaper, is here.
Your baby's comfort begins with Love's.
WABC-TV and the Citizens Committee for New York City love New York in every language, especially hieroglyphs.
Have a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Johnny Mathis is Christmas to me. Johnny Mathis and Bing Crosby. That particular song, the Christmas song, I guess is more on that coat. Come to think of it, there are a lot of people that are Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, we're here on AM New York, and we got phone calls. We want people who want to talk to Judy Clemens-Rude of the New York Times and Esquire magazine, and Candy Loving. What a name. Good morning. You're live on AM New York. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
All right.
What are you doing?
To ask Miss Loving a question.
Okay.
Since you had never posed nude before, could you tell me what your reactions were when you were being photographed?
What was it like?
Well, at first it was scary.
Was it cold?
Yes. But as I got more experienced and did it a few times, I got more confident, and it became fun.
Were there a lot of sessions?
Yes, 8 over the period of from about last March to September.
My goodness, that's an awful lot of pictures.
That's a lot of pictures.
How does one get to be a photographer is what I'm thinking about. Where are your outtakes? Okay, we got another call here. Good morning, you're live at AM New York.
Yes, I'd like to ask Candy how her husband feels about her posing nude.
That's a very good question. You are married. How does he feel about it?
He likes it. I mean, he is very much behind me, and he told me in the first place if I wanted to do it, then he thought it was fine.
He doesn't worry about walking into the bar and the guy at the bar saying, hey, there's a lady with a guy and all that
He
stuff?
carries the pictures around and shows people. Are you kidding? He says, this is my wife, and you can look.
Feel that you're right, that it's a matter of economy to start getting people out of jeans and into clothes because it keeps jobs. But I feel that women of the women's movement are now trying to push this feminine look in an attempt to assimilate into the society of real women and try to say to everybody, see, we're real women and we need the ERA, and are going to try to finish the job up. And I want them to know the women of this nation are kind of hip to them, and they could get dressed up anytime and any place they want.
What do you think about that, Judy?
I'm not sure what she's saying, but...
I think what she's saying is that they're trying to get as many people into the feminist movement as they can by any means possible, and to grab them in and continue the movement and say we can dress any way we like.
That's an interesting theory. I've never heard it before.
I think that's
It was not in your article. It's an original idea. It's fascinating. We got one more call before we go. Hello, you're live on AM New York.
Yes, good morning. I'd like to ask Candy, by the way, you are a lovely and very pretty woman. And I'd like to find out, after your career now, what do you hope to venture into later on? What type of career?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I was in school at the time that Playboy and I found each other, and I have 1 year left to complete my college degree, and that's what I want to do, is finish school.
Going to finish school. Well, that's fantastic. That's at least a very sensible thing. You know, you don't plan on being a model or anything like that?
I might venture into something like that, too.
Why not? It seems like a logical thing to do. Judy Clemens-Rude of the New York Times and Candy Loving of Playboy, who has a staple in her stomach sometimes, I'm sorry to say. Thank you for being with us on AM New York. Going to be back with more on AM New York. Stay right where you are.
Want something good to snack on?
Oh, yeah.
How about something sweet with pretty colors?
A chocolate-covered cream puff.
No, this is bite-sized, but not messy.
Is it a green jelly bean?
No, it's a natural snack.
A natural snack? What's that?
Grapes!
Grapes?
Hey!
Grapes, the delicious bite-sized natural snack that comes in pretty colors. Grapes, the natural snack. Pick some up for your family.
I'm Christopher Plummer, here at the Metropolitan Museum, where the cultural event of the century is taking place. It is here that the great Tutankhamun exhibition was originally conceived and organized.
How the treasures were used to guarantee immortality for the ancient Egyptians, and a look at them as Egyptians see them today. Requiem for a Boy King, Tutankhamun, special, Tuesday night at 7:30.
The majority of burglaries in your community are by forced entry through the front door. Now you can get security with multi-lock 4-way deadbolt system and pick-resistant cylinder installed in your door. Depending on the type of door, as many as 6 independent steel bolts emerge from inside and penetrate deep into the frame and floor on all 4 sides. Multi-lock 4-way security available throughout the metropolitan area. For information, call 889-9545, 889-9545.
Oh, I love it. Isn't this pretty, those flowers? Michael, that's fantastic. You're from Teleflora, and I guess it's always nice to send flowers by wire, isn't it?
Exactly. Of course, Teleflora is a network of 15,000 florists over the country.
15,000.
Right.
Fantastic. How can you be sure you're going to get what you ask for when you go to the...
By ordering early enough and giving the florist a substitute so that they can be sure that you send what you want.
That's fantastic. I love flowers, and these are so pretty, and I wonder if anybody else could do that. Do you think it's as easy as you made it look?
Well, probably so. I think that maybe you could do it with a little bit of guidance.
Not I, no. I always bash the stems and the flowers fall. Hey, I don't know one thing. Someone told me that if you put aspirin in the water, it makes the flowers go on.
That's an old wives' tale, but if you use
Well,
warm
an old wife
water...
told me, as a matter of fact.
Okay, that's good. But if you use warm water, then you can be sure that the flowers are going to last so much longer.
Great. Okay, tomorrow's AM New York, we are going to have the amazing Kreskin, the Chinese acrobats of Taiwan. In light of what's going on politically, it's going to be interesting. A Superman fashion show. A lot of Superman on AM New York these days. Holiday moods. We'll tell you about those moods, where you feel up and down. Our morning movie coming up, Run Wild, Run Free, Part 1, starring John Mills and Sylvia Sims. Watch it. You'll enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Tuesday.
I don't know the difference between right and wrong right now. You're not going to teach me.
The mob baits Starsky's little brother into big-time trouble.
When do I get paid?
COD, when you bring it back. While a trap's being set
They're coming after you. You hear what I'm saying?
to nail Starsky and Hutch.
Tonight. The gift just right for him. The Ralph Lauren tie in a clutch of colors, complete with a polo insignia.
Saks Fifth Avenue.
Precise as a world-class champion, Citizen presents its newest great performer, the Lady Crystron series. Tiny, petite, analog quartz watches no larger than a traditional wedding band. Only from Citizen, this scaled-down fashion elegance. Only from Citizen, this new generation of small wonders. From the creators of the world's first thin quartz watch to break the 1mm barrier, Citizen, the great performer.
Available at Fortune Off in New York City, Westbury, New York, Paramus, New Jersey.
One bite is all it takes to find out why we named this frozen pizza La Pizzeria. One bite and you'll taste all that gooey cheese and sauce, like pizzeria pizza, and big hunks of sausage and pepperoni, like pizzeria pizza. One bite and you'll know we named it what it tastes like. La Pizzeria, the frozen pizza that's as good as pizza you go out for.
John Mills on the morning movie at 10.
Good morning. How are you this morning? I'm Dan Ingram, and this is AM New York, and we got a show for you today that I think is going to live up to the potential of the title of this show. It's called AM New York, and of course New York is a very large area comprising New Jersey and parts of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Manhattan, of course, the 5 boroughs, Long Island. And if this show is going to live up to its title, it's going to have to deal with some of the gut issues of what's going on in your life and mine. I mean, just because I sit here in a nice suit of clothes and talk to you, we're not any different. You're a person, I'm a person. You have problems, I have problems. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is the oil price increase, which affects every one of us. You remember those ads in the back of Popular Science or one of those magazines? And they used to say, how I retired on $150 a month. Well, if you retired on $150 a month, you're probably eating dog food now. You're probably starving. Or maybe somebody's helping you out. That increase in price, that oil increase, is going to hit you and me right where we live. Now, I got a bank of phones in front of me, and we're going to let you use them as a squawk box. I want to find out how you feel about that oil price increase. Yesterday, our mayor was asked what measures the city might tackle to help to cut the rising fuel prices. And Mayor Koch is quoted as saying, I'm going to try to use less oil in my salad. Maybe he's frustrated. That's kind of a flip answer. But when the price of everything is going to go up and up and up, I want to know how you feel about it. So this is your chance to talk back and let us know. Just call that number, 955-9932. And while you're doing that, I want to tell you about our show today. James LaRocca, who is the commissioner of the New York State Energy Office, is going to be here. He's what they call the energy czar, and he seems like a guy who's on our side because in a release that I just read a few minutes ago, he seemed to be putting the oil companies down and saying they're lying. They're not telling you the truth about oil and gasoline reserves and about the consumption of oil and gasoline in this country. It's going to be interesting to get into it with him. The amazing Kreskin will be here, a man I've admired for a long time. And I'm going to ask him to read my mind, and he's going to show us a couple of interesting things. He's what they call a mentalist. Whatever that is, we'll find out. We got a Superman fashion show. I don't really know what that's going to be, but it sounds like it could be fun, because I like pretty girls, and there are a lot of them out there in the dressing room. And Chinese acrobats of Taiwan are going to be here. And what they're going to do is do a very incredible dance with spinning plates on their head, on the top of sticks, and all kinds of acrobatic moves, and it's a fascinating thing. Then a guy by the name of Chang Tu-Long, which, gee, that sounds like a title of a book, doesn't it? Anyway, he's going to break some bamboo over my head. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, you're live at AM New York.
Hello.
Hi.
I think that people that live in New York City or that live near Long Island Railroad should stop taking cars, and they should take the railroad, they should take the trains, they should take public transportation and stop using the gasoline on the cars.
Okay, how do you feel about Westway, where they're building a great, huge roadway for cars, which is going to use up more gasoline and have more pollution?
I don't think they should do that.
Do you think we ought to put in more public transportation?
Yes.
I agree with you. You're absolutely right. Thanks for calling. Good morning. You're live at AM New York.
Yes. I was calling in reference to the energy question, and I feel as though that there should be more information put out for people who don't have a lot of money, who don't know much about preserving energy, and get right to the heart of the people that don't really have anything and that are freezing every day during the winter, who don't own a home, who doesn't control the thermostat. You know, something to tell them to keep them warm this winter.
How do you get to your landlord and put it to him so you get some heat, right?
Right.
Right. Thanks for calling. Boy, am I with you. Hello there. You're live at AM New York.
Good morning. Actually, I think the approach should be a little bit different. I think we should put the same type of pressure on the Arabs that they've been putting on us and the rest of the world. The things that we supply them with, the vital things, I think we should start holding back, too. They're in a position where I'm sure they don't want to give anything up to the Soviets or any other country like that. And if it really came down to it, the bottom line, I'm sure they would have to come around to our way of thinking. Otherwise, we just have to give them the same type of treatment, which isn't too good.
I think you have a point there. There are some people that say we ought to just march an army in and take over. You can't do that, of course.
That's not the way of doing it, because they're not marching armies into our country. They're just applying a pressure in a very intelligent way, in a way that they're using something that we must have, oil, to get their way. I'm sure there are things that we have that they need, and if we apply that same type of pressure, they'll be in the same type of situation.
What kind of pressure?
Excuse me?
What kind of pressure are you talking about?
Whatever services or supplies, military, or I don't know exactly what different things we supply the Arab countries with are, but I'm sure there are a few of them that are just as vital to the running of their country, whether it's military equipment or whatever, and advice, that they need to run their countries, and if we held back on those vital supplies and things, then they'd have no choice but to eventually come around to easing up on the pressure they put on our country. And I think under the circumstances, all of these rich kings, etc., wouldn't like anybody to come into their oil fields and take it away like the Soviets or any of the other communist countries would do. They'd no longer be capitalist kings of the world, monarchs of the world.
I understand. Thanks for calling. I appreciate your call. Good morning. You're live at AM New York. Hello there. Nobody home? Well, let's try the other one. Hello?
Hello?
Hi there.
I wonder if all the billions that we keep funneling into the Arab countries aren't wasted. Why don't we start funneling some of the money into our resources, developing not necessarily atomic energy, but possibly natural gas resources, using the sun? There must be some other way, instead of continually giving the money to the Arab countries, giving it to Mexico, giving it to every country that's producing oil, and we are producing such a bare minimum. why don't we start using our own resources?
I agree with you. You're absolutely right. We should try to develop our own resources. There are as many answers as there are facets to a complex question like that, and we're going to be getting into it with James LaRocca, who's our commissioner of the New York State Energy Office. We'll have questions for him. If you want to call us, we'll have questions for him. There's one bit of business I want to take care of before we do the break and have Mr. LaRocca come on. Yesterday, if you remember, the guy who played Jimmy Olsen, Jack Larson, was here. And he told me on the way out, he said, I forgot to mention I'm writing a book, and that's the real reason I'm here. And he's such a nice guy, I thought I'd mention it to you. It's going to be called Jimmy and Me. It'll be out in October, and I'm sure the people on AM New York will have him back when it comes out, okay? All right, James LaRocca is coming up. Stay where you are. We got much more show for you on AM New York.
We're unwrapping one of the most fun and educational Christmas gifts you can give to a young boy or girl this Christmas. It's the Pottery Wheel by Ronco. The Pottery Wheel is motor-driven, and all you do is use your hands to form beautiful ceramic vases. The Pottery Wheel helps make all kinds of plant and flower pots and hundreds of beautiful decorative useful items. The Pottery Wheel by Ronco makes the perfect Christmas gift, and it's $9.98.
A great gift idea, available at Woolworth Woolco and Rite Aid.
On the Jungle Cruise at Silver Springs, we can't tell you what you'll see because there are hundreds of different animals roaming free on the riverbanks. You can watch a snake show and feed the fish on the glass-bottom boat ride. Then explore a jungle. The one thing we can tell you about Silver Springs is you'll love it. It's a constant surprise.
Hello, this is Ben Hooks. Since 1909, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People has fought to make America live up to its promise of justice and freedom for all of its citizens. It wasn't easy then, it isn't easy now. This holiday, give your dollars to the NAACP Dollars for Christmas campaign.
Get a stereo for Christmas, or a color TV, a car stereo, a CB, a Sony Betamax. Get it now, because Crazy Eddie's Christmas sale prices are insane.
New Yorkers are getting hardest hit, I think, with a 14.5% increase in the price of oil from the Arab nations. And what does that mean to you? How's it going to affect your budget? Is your electric rate going to go up? We all know it is. We're talking about $1 a gallon gasoline. Where does it all end? Well, with us to talk about it is James LaRocca, Commissioner for the New York State Energy Office, and we got a lot of questions for you, sir. First place, I started to read a release that was handed to me right before we went on the air, and you said, and I got to find exactly where it was, Commissioner LaRocca was the first energy administrator in the country to challenge the refiner's claims when he revealed that a New York State Energy Office analysis of actual supply-demand conditions showed that national gasoline consumption had risen by only 3%. Is that true?
2 weeks ago, Shell Oil announced that it was going to begin rationing gasoline because of inventory shortages, because of federal price controls. And because of an upsurge in demand for gasoline. And we examined the numbers they made available and the Department of Energy made available, and we found out that inventories were up rather than down, that there had been some modest increase in the use of gasoline, but nothing dramatic, and that what we were really seeing was a public relations effort to condition the public to accept the idea of gasoline price decontrol, which the President had said he would be seeking in January.
Isn't it true that they closed down one refinery and another one, I think, had a fire in it or something, and that's the excuse they used to say that there's going to be less gasoline?
They mentioned the refinery problems, but the refineries were back up in time so that in the last 2 weeks of November, inventories of gasoline actually increased at a rate faster than they had in any of the previous 4 years.
In other words, the whole thing is just a crock, right?
Well, that's your word. My word was a public relations effort, and on Friday of this past week, Shell announced that it was returning to virtually full allocations, 95% allocations, so that this tremendous emergency they described lasted no more than 2 weeks. And I think that the public focus we brought to it had something to do with that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, this price rise, almost 15%. What's it going to mean to the average guy who sits there and gets a bill from Con Ed that used to be $30 and it's $75 now? Where are we going?
I don't know if the increase will be as dramatic as doubling of prices, but there's no question that it's going to be significant. It's going to be widespread. It's going to be direct and indirect. People's energy bills will go up, and then they'll pay higher prices for goods and services because other people's energy bills are going up. The prospect is not a good one. We're very disappointed that this country was not more active before the OPEC nations acted. We, in fact, announced some weeks ago that we would consider it acceptable to have a moderate Arab increase, and Governor Kerry pointed out at the time that what we ought to have been saying is we don't consider any increase acceptable.
Well, I got the impression from the press that the price increase was a dramatic surprise, that no one seemed to realize what was going on. That kind of an increase was unbelievable, that everyone was surprised about. Is that true?
Well, I think if a month or 6 weeks before the nations were about to meet, the United States, the most powerful nation, indicating publicly and all over the world that we would accept and consider reasonable something between 5 and 8%, I think was a signal to the OPEC nations that we would, in fact, stand by for almost anything. And I think that had a lot to do with the size of the raise that we've seen.
It amazes me that all these things go on, and yet you and I, we have no control over this. It just seems to be someplace off there, somebody's raising prices and making a lot of money, and our government isn't doing anything about it, and I'm getting frustrated, and you're getting frustrated, and you sound like you're frustrated too. Is there anything that can be done? Or is there any way that the price of oil can be frozen? Is there anything we can do? Are we, in fact, signing a treaty with Communist China and recognizing them because there are vast oil reserves in China? I've heard that. Is that true?
Well, I don't know about that, but there are the things we can do. Gasoline price decontrol was due to be presented to the Congress in January on the theory that it was necessary to give higher prices to the refineries to provide greater products in the future. I think that argument is demolished already, and then with the OPEC action coming, it should be out of the question. In July '76, we decontrolled the price of home heating oil. And since then, home heating oil has gone up 25%.
I know.
More than twice the rate of inflation. And this is before you calculate in the new OPEC increase. So as a minimum, we must return to federal price controls for home heating oil products, which is a very important concern in this state. And we must abandon the idea of gasoline price decontrol.
Governor Kerry is going to Washington, and I'd like to know what he's going to tell the president. Do you know?
I believe the subject of that meeting relates to the economic vitality of New York City in particular. I believe that...
this is all interlocked, though. This price rise in oil will affect our economic vitality, won't it?
It will affect the New York State to the tune of about $600 million a year in 1979, and the northeastern states probably about $1.5 billion. New York is the largest oil consuming state in the nation, so we will feel the impact of this more than any other state. And I think that will form part of their agenda.
The oil companies put out all kinds of figures about how we're the largest consumer of energy in the world, and we consume 26% of the oil in the world, is the figure I read. What they don't tell you is we produce 22% of the oil in the world. And that's a rather efficient figure. Why is it? How much is this increase going to affect the individual person? How much is my gas bill going to go up? How much is my electric bill going to go up? If we're that efficient in producing oil, why should it have that much effect on us?
Well, the estimates are in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 cents a gallon for home heating oil, and probably a comparable number in gasoline. We are a producing nation, but we don't produce as much as we consume, and particularly in the eastern United States, where historically foreign oil was cheaper oil, and we had ports and waterborne transportation that made it easier to bring in. We created a dependence that is now seriously injuring us economically. There are many things the nation should be doing, the state should be doing, that we are doing in the development of alternative energy sources, the development of indigenous energy sources. Outer continental shelf development, for example, here in New York is something we opposed for many years because of the California and the Gulf experience. And now we've discovered, subject to proper environmental controls, it makes far more sense for us to try to exploit those resources closer to home rather than oppose it as we did. All of the alternative energy sources, solar and resource recovery, energy from solid waste, are becoming more economic. It's all a matter of economics. And right now in New York City, we believe that, particularly when you add in now the OPEC increase, solar energy will be competitive with electricity for making hot water. So if there's any silver lining to this cloud, it is that the alternative energy sources will be economically more competitive now.
Very good. Okay, it's your turn. We want your questions for James LaRocca. How do you feel about it? What are your fears? What do you want to know? What do you want done? We'll wait for you. Messages, and we'll be right back.
In a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and...
You're looking at one of the biggest industries in the world, an industry you might like to earn your living in, the refrigeration and air conditioning industry. Whether it's the air conditioner in your car, a giant freezer, and a meat packing plant, they all have two things in common: a coil and a compressor, plus one other thing in common. Sooner or later, every one of these hundreds of millions of cooling and freezing systems needs servicing or fixing, and that's the job of the air conditioning and refrigeration specialist, the job I want to talk with you about. If you haven't found a job you like yet, think about becoming an air conditioning and refrigeration specialist. Here at Apex, there's a training program you can get into where you learn to use these tools, plus how to do a little brazing and wiring. In as little as 6 months, you can earn your certificate and be ready to go out on the job. Here's basic information, plus an invitation to come in and try these tools on for size. Let me mail it to you.
Call 246-0900. That's 246-0900. Call now.
Give a gift of fine fragrance and more this year from the sparkling collection of Paco Rabanne. For her, the lasting brilliance of Calandra, a soft, cool, and wonderfully unique blend of herbs and golden woodsy undertones. For him, something excitingly different, the crisp masculine fragrance of Paco Rabanne, created for today's man.
At Macy's, we have so much to give.
Today on the 4:30 movie, how to stuff a wild bikini. With Annette Funicello and Mickey Rooney.
Hey, Chicky babies, over here.
How to stuff a wild bikini. Today on the 4:30 movie.
Our lives depend on the quality of care we receive in a hospital. Give to the United Hospital Fund of New York now, when it counts.
Home for Christmas.
Isn't that a pretty little doggy? We have some real issues here, and I want to get right to the phones and find out what you think about it. Good morning. You're live on AM New York.
Yes, good morning, Mr. LaRocca. My apartment building... my apartment building had the electric included in my rent. And the landlord just won a case, and now the electric is off. But he gave us $11 off of our rent bill for electric. My electric bills have been $25, $35. Last summer they were $50. I want to know just about how much more percentage-wise are my bills going to go up now.
Good question.
The estimates that we're hearing today are somewhere between 4 and 10% for an average electric bill in New York City.
Oh, boy. That's quite a bit. Let's get another call. Good morning. You're live on AM New York. Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First thing I'd like to say is I think the whole thing is a great big rip-off.
Amen.
It's a rip-off for the working man.
I agree with you.
And the thing that happens is that the companies are still making this great amount of profit. And the working man carries all the burden.
That's right.
That's what it all comes down to. We're carrying the burden, and the big companies are making the money. the stock owners, they're still making their big profit. What are we getting? We're getting nothing but the shaft.
Tell me something. Do you have any idea what to do about it?
It has to start up at the top. We elected Card because he said he was for the working man, but now he seemed to have forgotten that.
Okay, thanks. Good point. And I got a question for you. If indeed most people feel like he does, that it's got to start at the top, is that true, or does it have to start with the people at the bottom conserving energy? How about electric cars? How about things like that?
Well, let me tell you something. The federal government has brought 64 cases against the oil companies in the last year, which have so far resulted in $1.5 billion recovery of overcharges under the federal price control mechanism. And Secretary O'Leary, Deputy Secretary O'Leary, has announced that by June they expect that recovery to be between $4 and $5 billion. So the skepticism that we just heard voiced about whether there's been some rip-offs, I think, has been documented, and the federal government, and prodded by the states, is going after some of that money.
I wish I could get my share of that $4 or $5 billion. Good morning. You're live on AM New York.
Hello, Dan Ingram?
That's me.
Okay. What I'd like to know is, us taxpayers,
That's you and me.
that's you and I,
Right.
and being a Long Island resident, I'm sure, if Nassau County, I'm sure you know that we're the most heavily taxed people in the country.
In the world.
In the world. What I'd really like to know is how the government could allow this to happen. And the commissioner is sitting there and everything he's saying is fine and dandy, but nobody in his echelon seems to be doing a doggone thing about it. I'd like to know what their steps are going to be in some type of recovery for this country.
Oh, go ahead. The man's on the phone.
Well, we've heard that we're going after the oil companies. The ultimate long-term success for this country is going to be to diversify our fuel mix, to develop the oil and the gas that we know exists off the continental shelf, under Lake Erie, under western New York, to make greater use of solar power, wind power. New York City, there's one thing we're sure we'll always have is garbage. Yet we don't convert any of that to energy, so we need to have an active program in New York City for converting energy from garbage. We are ultimately going to have to do all of these things, and New York right now conserves energy at a rate better than any other state. Our per capita use of energy is the best in the country.
Really?
So we're making progress on conservation, but we have to look more to domestic production than we have.
You know, it's funny. Here's a guy saying he lives in Nassau County. It's one of the highest tax rates in the country, and it is. Believe me, I know. And all the things you're talking about, I'm sure, are very real and very meaningful to you. But I think they're a bit esoteric to the people at home. You know, recovery, what does that mean? You know, you recovered $2.3 billion. I still got a $295 light bill last month. And I think that's where people are getting frustrated. We're going to take another call. Good morning. You're live on AM New York. Hello there.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, well, why don't somebody talk about that big pipeline from Alaska?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Coming down to the West Coast, so much surplus that they're storing it in ships. Get Japan, and with the ingenuity of this country, they tell us that it costs too much to send it through the Panama Canal. Why, hell, we're spending billions sending rockets to the moon. Can't we build a pipeline to take the surplus off the West Coast and use it here?
I think that's a great idea. How do we get that glut to the East Coast?
I think under the OPEC action of this week, it will develop that the cost of coming through the Panama Canal is now competitive with the cost of the Arab oil, so that the economics of that will change and more of that oil will find its way to the East Coast.
Seems to me, though, that when you talk about competitive rates, what you're really talking about, the price of Arab oil has gone so high that you might as well get it from somewhere else, too. Suppose we do start to depend on oil from somewhere else. Suppose we do start taking oil from the Mideast and from the West Coast and bringing it through the Panama Canal. What'll happen to our pricing of oil in the Arab countries? Are they going to raise it again like they said they did the last time because there wasn't enough buying going on?
Well, I think you have to consider Alaskan oil as part of the domestic production. The politics of the Middle East, I think, has been vastly underestimated in the 5 years since the first embargo, which created this problem. And ultimately, we ought to be prepared to use the political muscle that we have to stand up to this cartel, which we did not do in this case.
I think you're right. I think that's what one of our callers said just a little while ago. He called up and said, why don't we give it to them, too? James LaRocca, thanks for being with us today. It's a tremendously complex issue and one that we just can't solve in a few minutes. But I do want to thank you for being here, and it kind of looks like he's on our side. Coming up next, the Chinese acrobats of Taiwan are going to spin some plates for you and break some bamboo on my head. Hang in.
Love's creates the comfortable diaper. New Love's disposable diapers from Procter & Gamble. The diaper created for your baby's comfort.
Look at Love's. I've never seen such a comfortable diaper. Love's. Love's.
Love's new hourglass design cradles your baby in comfort.
Love's. Love's.
Love's has flexible gathers for flexible fit. Now every move your baby makes is comfortable. Love's fits. No sags, no gaps. Other diapers sag, leave gaps.
Love's. Love's.
Love's comes in small, medium, and large. So absorbent, now you can buy one size to help keep your baby comfortably dry day or night. Love's, the comfortable diaper, is here.
Your baby's comfort begins with Love's. Love's.
The perfect holiday family entertainment is here. The Chinese Acrobatic Circus of Taiwan. 40 incredible performers and feats of spectacular danger and skill. Hilarious comedy acts, unbelievable magic, dancing, kung fu, and more. It's dazzling. It's fun for all. It's the Chinese Acrobatic Circus of Taiwan. December 20th to January 1st at Madison Square Garden Spelt Forum. For information, call 564-4400. Tickets also at Ticketron and charge it.
I'm Christopher Plummer, here at the Metropolitan Museum, where the cultural event of the century is taking place. It is here that the great Tutankhamun exhibition was originally conceived and organized.
How the treasures were used to guarantee immortality for the ancient Egyptians, and to look at them as Egyptians see them today. Requiem for a Boy King, Tutankhamun, special, tonight at 7:30.
The Legal Aid Society Civil Division needs your help to continue helping those in need. So please, pass the buck our way.
Hello there. With me is a man by the name of Don, not Howard, Hughes.
Right.
Don is the producer and manager for what?
The Chinese Acrobatic Circus from Taiwan.
The Chinese Acrobatic Circus from Taiwan. And I don't know whether you can hear a little squeaking sound in the background, but they are getting ready with a bunch of plates on top of the sticks that I see they have. Tell me about that, Don.
Well, they got these real plates. I mean, they're nothing phony about them, and they spin them. You're going to see 3 of what we normally have in this company of 40 people this morning.
40 people usually do this dance?
Well, we have the full production for this number, yes.
And, my Lord, are those expensive plates?
We break a lot.
Why don't we get out of the way and let them come on, okay? The Chang sisters. fantastic. That's wonderful. Now, how do they get the plates down?
Oh, they now drop them to each other.
They drop them to each other.
Yeah, and they catch them.
What, aside from being an acrobatic feat, a marvel, is there any story about that, or is there anything about that other than just doing it?
No, it's a traditional thing from Taiwan.
How long a tradition?
Oh, 200 years, 2,000 years, I'm sorry.
2,000 years. All right. Qi Kung, is that what we're going to see next?
That's what you're going to see. Qi Kung.
Qi Kung. My Chinese is terrible.
That's similar to Kung Fu, but it's called Qi
Kung Fu? Wait a minute. What are we actually going to do here?
Well, I think we'll leave it and see what happens.
All right. Cheng Tulong will join us now and tell us what we're supposed to do. Sit on there, on the Jets thing. Okay. Very good. I will, you'll pardon my back. There we are. Here we go. So far, no problems. And I'm going to look up, sit up straight. I am round-shouldered. I'm sorry. What's that? I can't see the monitor. What's on my head? Oh, dear. Don't move, he says. I ain't going to move. Don't worry. That's my head. What? All right. We're going to try to get... Was that a mistake, or is that just what you do? Up straight. Up straight. Sit up straight. If I look like I'm praying, I am. No? My head is too round? What? Oh, Lordy. This is worse than the night before getting married. I don't know that I like this. I just got this sudden fear that he's not going to do it right. Fantastic. I didn't feel a thing. How do you do that? Is there some, well, there must be some concentration of energy or something like that.
It is. He concentrates all his energy into the center of that piece of bamboo so that it breaks and it doesn't hurt.
I didn't feel a thing.
Nor did I.
That's unbelievable. Thank you very much, Cheng Fulong. And thank you very much for being here on AM New York. Coming up, I don't know what we have coming up. What have we got coming up? Someone like to tell me what we got coming up? Oh, yes, of course. The amazing Kreskin will be here. I should have known it. He should have projected it into my mind. We'll be right back with Kreskin right after these words.
Man, would I love a beefsteak sandwich. Beefsteak? Coming right up. When a guy's got a real appetite, he wants a real bread to go along with it. Beefsteak rye. Because beefsteak rye has the kind of delicious rye flavor, rich rye texture, and chewy rye crust that a man just loves. And a woman, too. Beefsteak rye. Nothing tastes better than a beefsteak sandwich.
The majority of burglaries in your community are by forced entry through the front door. Now you can get security with multi-lock 4-way deadbolt system and pick-resistant cylinder installed in your door. Depending on the type of door, as many as 6 independent steel bolts emerge from inside and penetrate deep into the frame and floor on all 4 sides. Multi-lock 4-way security available throughout the metropolitan area. For information, call 889-9545, 889-9545.
Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city.
Ring-a-ling, hear them ring.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Silver bells.
It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas.
healthy child is a beautiful child. For free shots to protect against childhood diseases, call the Red Cross at 212-787-5001.
He told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see,
Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Isn't that pretty? I'm sitting here with a man who's known as Kreskin. And I believe you bill yourself as T.A. Kreskin, the amazing Kreskin.
Where did you get that T.A. from?
From your PR sheet that your agent sent over.
The crazy thing is, Dan, for years, you know, the airlines, evidently they live by computers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a day that by mistake I will open the door to the cockpit of a major airline and find that there are no pilots, at which point a coronary would be the only saving grace. And the computers insist you have to have a first name. So my legal name is one name Kreskin. Well, in the beginning I got sarcastic. I said, well, it's Hildegard. Well, they don't remember Hildegard. And then I said Liberace because he legalized it. So the funny thing is, as of a year ago, January, we decided that everything would be signed T.A. Kreskin, and you're the only one. They've never asked me, because the day they ask me, I'll have to say, well, it means the amazing Kreskin.
Well, at least we know. You got a new book out.
Third printing already.
Third printing already?
Yeah.
McGraw-Hill published it, and I think we showed it before. Yeah. It's called Kreskin's Mind Power Book.
It's not, you know, Dan, it's not a book on...
not on mind power?
How to be a mentalist, because that's kind of a lifestyle. And it certainly is not a book dealing with this business of controlling people's minds. I've trained a lot of athletes. I worked with a lot of the Olympic divers that went to Japan.
How do you do that?
Showing them how to utilize the imagination so that, well, you know, it stands to reason, Dan, without going into great details. If you're playing golf, we always hear about the follow-through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't particularly believe in mind over matter or psychokinesis, but you're told to imagine you can control the ball so that it'll go into a hole. Mm-hmm. The only reason really being is that if you're imagining it going into a hole, obviously, as you swing, your muscles are going to coordinate more accurately. This can be utilized in a lot of athletics. The divers were taught to stand at the top step before they ever walked to the end of the diving board. This is before they went to Japan, because they trained them out in Michigan. And they literally hallucinated or imagined themselves the form they were taking as they were going off the board and went down.
And that helps the form.
And yet the other thing, I'm sorry, Jim.
I want you to do something. Yeah. I want you to read my mind right now.
Well, you know what I thought? I'm in the true sense of the word, I'm
sending a message to you right now.
Like I'm a fake, as you said before the program. I'm about to hit of it. No.
Show me something.
I'm going to show you.
Amaze me.
All right.
I'm ready. We have nothing planned, by the way.
In fact, I stressed with them. I said, listen, I don't want Dan to have even any idea of what I'm going to do with him. And if we get a chance maybe later on, because I've done a few news interviews on this whole idea of mind control and some of the dictators and the people in various aspects of our culture that are obviously trying to control our thinking, if only in the terms of small groups. But this is an example of how indirectly, Dan, I'm going to suggest something to you. Now, I don't want you, Dan, to see what I'm going to write. So if you just for a second just turn your head. I'm writing this off camera. I don't believe it's even being shown on camera at this moment. You can turn around now, Dan, and look towards me. Yeah. We'll set the rest of these cards aside. Now, it's truly, Dan, it's not a prediction. It's just a thought that I'm going to try to project in your mind. What do you have on you, Dan, that you could lay at? Any objects, anything you're wearing, anything you could put down that we could just use as objects, various items?
Object?
Anything, anything.
My ID bracelet.
All right.
There's one there.
Anything else you can take?
Anything else I can take?
You have on?
That I have
wearing?
I have another ID
Well, don't
bracelet.
use two bracelets. What else you
My watch.
All right.
I think he's going to steal my watch and my
not
ID bracelet.
necessarily.
And that's it. This is some new
Anything
kind of
else that come off? The rings look similar. Is one? You want to take one off?
I can take this one.
All right. I'd like to. Oh, God! We can call you number 9. How about a few other things?
I'm going to be naked here.
Well, I don't want to suggest things to you.
How about a wallet?
Good. We can use the wallet, which could be. How about? I'd like maybe one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of an interest. I didn't want to suggest that you come prepared.
How about some change?
Change? Put one piece of change out.
Just a piece of change?
Yeah. Let me have it. Now look, Dan.
Quarter.
First of all, Dan, and I ask the listeners to try this because I'm not a mind reader in the sense that I have some psychic powers. I'm going to kind of influence Dan's thinking. First of all, Dan, I wrote down this item before you put your objects out. Yeah. We've got a wallet. The second thing is the smallest thing of all, the ring. The chain, obviously, stands out because of the links, and it may glitter in your eyes for all I know. This may, aside from cash in his wallet, be the most valuable piece. The coin is odd because it's the smallest. It's pure silver. Now, Dan, listen to me. We only need one item. There's 5. There could have been 6. There could have been a dozen there. I only need to eliminate 4 because all we need is one item. I don't want you to try to help me. You just follow my instructions, and you can do anything else. You're going to make choices, but they're free choices. Just take a deep breath for a moment, Dan. All right, now exhale. All right, now if you will, Dan, I want you to touch one of the items on the table. And before you touch any item, you can change your mind as much as you want, but just tap an item on the table, Dan, if you will. And lift it up and pick it up in your hand. Now with your other hand, pick another item up. Because as I said, all right, now you changed hands. That's all right. But it was an interesting thing because he took one, he put the wallet in the other hand, and he kept one in the right hand. Now hand me one of the items, please, Dan, if you will. All right. I don't want to drop it. It's very interesting. Because next to the coin, the watch was the last thing that Dan put down there. I never even suggested that he put down a watch. As I said, all I wanted was one item. He had no idea of what I jotted down. I'd like you to take out the card that I wrote on, Dan, and if you would just look at it and show it to our camera.
Do you believe that?
And what happened in essence, Dan, there could have been 30 items. You would have picked up 2 and handed me the one that I had in mind, Dan.
That's incredible.
You know, Dan.
That's frightening.
Well, the thing.
Did you ever work for politicians?
The thing is, Dan, I remember a couple of days. We've got so little time. I was going to show you another test, but I guess we have to wait for a future time on that. Just before the Thanksgiving period, Dan.
Yeah.
A couple of the networks called me in on this whole sad tragedy with Reverend Jones and the whole mass of 900 and some people. There's an aspect of it, Dan, that we really haven't thought about. I know you've had people on that have written books on cults and what have you. I think what we've overlooked, Dan, is in our culture, and it's all through history. It was true with the case of Rasputin. It was true with Hitler, who had, by the way, a teacher, and he was only mentioned in one book by Tolan, Adolf Hitler. He had a teacher who was a hypnotist by the name of Honeson.
Yes, I read that.
There happen to be people, Dan, in our culture that have a tremendous charisma to influence large masses of people. On the negative side, you had a monster, I would say, like Reverend Jones. But on the other side of the coin, they had the same gift, except they used it constructively. You had men like JFK, and you had in the radio days FDR and even Arthur Godfrey, who was an incredible salesman.
Yes.
Well, I don't think you can teach something like this, except that the reason, and to wrap this up because I see our time is going by, the reason Reverend Jones had so many followers, by which I think he was able to exercise this gift that he had, as monstrous as it was because he used it negatively, is the reason that Dr. Margaret Mead and I discussed a few months before she died. A man could not stand on television and say, become a follower of mine, any more than I can influence your choice of an object unless you cooperate. One thing, Dan, which maybe these groups, from the Reverend Moon to the Jones groups and what have you, are reflecting. We're seeing, tragically enough, the disintegration in our culture of the family as we once knew it.
You're scaring me.
And these are becoming, sadly enough, artificial families. And maybe with the advent of Christmas coming by and the Jewish as well as Christian holidays, it might be a chance to remind ourselves that these holidays work best and are most meaningful when we've joined the family and the friends that are the extension of the family. When you have a family, a Reverend Moon or a Reverend Jones is simply not going to work because there's no need for such a person.
That's a beautiful thought, and thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
The amazing Kreskin. Thanks for being here, Kreskin. And next, we're going to have some Superman fashions for you, so hang in.
Going places, Pierre Cardin has created the fragrance the well-dressed man is wearing. Pierre Cardin Man's Cologne, part of the Pierre Cardin personal fragrance collection for men. Pierre Cardin Man's Cologne. The fragrance the well-dressed man is wearing is the fragrance the well-dressed man should be given. Available in handsome gift sets for Christmas from $10 to $26.
Advantage of my special 2-for-1 value.
Come in during Jack LaLanne's 2-for-1 Christmas offer and get 2 6-month memberships for the price of 1. Great as a gift, or share with a friend and start the new year right.
There are only 3 days left to take advantage of Jack LaLanne's 2-for-1 Christmas offer.
Listen, there's no other radio station like it.
The music is good, real good.
I feel like we're friends. They let me know exactly what's happening.
No one plays more of my favorite songs. They play the best music, new and old, without too much talking.
On New York's Best, nothing comes between you and the music. WPLJ, 95.5 FM, New York's best rock.
I introduced the 1978 Christmas Seal chairperson, Miss Sherry Lewis.
For 72 years now, Christmas seals have been protecting our lungs from disease and air pollution all year long, both preventing and curing breathing ailments. You know, you might say they're life and breath defenders.
Do I got their breath?
No, but if the folks at home will answer their Christmas seal letters generously, we'll all breathe easier.
And if I may speak for Sherry,
let's switch.
We thank you.
WABC-TV and the Citizens Committee for New York City love New York in every language, especially hieroglyphs.
Snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Hello there. Supermania is upon us. Superman mania, I guess it is. Gesundheit. Go ahead and sneeze. It's all right. You okay? Good. Our floor manager sneezing. And everybody is sporting the red, white, and yellow S on their chest or someplace else, wherever that be. Here to show us some of the latest and greatest Superman fashions is Sunny Fletcher, who is a model and fashion coordinator. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning.
You're incredibly beautiful in your outfit there.
Thank you. I'm dressed for Superwoman.
That's not is that like a disco outfit or something? Or?
Yeah, and it's an evening look. It's a straight leg pant, very tight. Can we get a camera over here on the side?
A camera on the straight leg.
Straight leg. It has the rhinestones all the way up the leg. It gives it kind of a disco party feeling, especially now with all the holiday parties going on and the Christmas and the New Year's parties. A lot of spangles
up top there.
And sequins are a very, very big.
Sequins, is that what they are?
Right. Sequins are a very big look.
Yeah.
And bright colors.
All right.
Bright colors.
Is this Superman craze going to be a lasting phenomenon, or is this just something temporary?
No, it's just a fun thing for now. It's like we had the boxer shorts and a lot of that happening with Roxy and Rocky, and the Rocky Horror Show brought a certain fashion to us and the Annie Hall look. But this particular look is just a fun, it's just a fun. It's supposed to be taken not with a serious attitude like, well, where would you wear that? It's the kind of thing you wear out to a party and you just want to have a good time, or to a discotheque, or even roller skating.
Are these things for kids, or are they for adults, or for in-betweens, or what?
They're for, well, basically, if you have the right attitude, you can wear anything. If you have a young attitude and if you're in good shape.
The Superman thing. I mean,
well, no, that's what I said earlier. It's the thing to take. It's not a serious thing. It's the thing you wear to parties and to discotheques and so forth and so on. Let me show you by bringing out the first model.
Okay.
Christy.
That's Christy.
She's got our see-through bib overalls on. And the Superman T-shirt, and she's got the Superman boots, which are really very versatile. They're just a plastic boot, but they're weather resistant. They are rainproof boots. And
you know what every guy in the Bronx is thinking right now, don't you?
These do have air vents, so they aren't. You don't sweat as much.
You don't steam up inside?
No, they lets the air in. And she's got her Superman bag. It's just a fun, kooky thing. She can wear it with the plastic over the boot. We've tucked it in to show the boots. But it's fun. It's kicky, and you can wear it with a leotard or a pair of tights underneath.
I couldn't wear it at all because, you know, on my body that would be ridiculous. But there, it looks very interesting. Can you paint in that and all those kind of things?
I would. Why not?
Why not? I imagine paint would rub off. That's very beautiful. Thank you. Who is our next model?
Karen.
Karen is our next model.
Karen's got our Superman sweatshirt on emblems. You're going to see a lot of happy emblems, and what she's got around her hip is a bike. It's for locking up your bike.
It's a bike lock?
It's a bike lock. And around her neck, she's got a lighter, a little rhinestone lighter. And we've dressed her up more for a disco look by putting on a sequined cap and giving her some high heels. But let's say you take off the high heels and put her on some sneakers, take off the cap, and she's got a comfortable riding outfit, because for bikes, you know, you've got to have a straight leg so it doesn't catch on the spokes anyways. So you have a fun riding outfit.
You go riding in that, you'd have an entourage.
Well, that's the idea. Again, that's the new straighter leg. You'll see a lot of this in evening in discos. It's called a skin, we're calling it. Might mention all these fashions are from Bloomingdale's. They have a department there called Supermania. And
Really?
they take from all the different departments, and right now they have a Superman theme, and they have some fantastic things. Accessories from throughout the store and so forth.
Lovely. Thank you, my dear. Beautiful. Are there super fashions for men, too? Or is it all
I
for
think
women?
what you're going to see for men more than the total fashion is you're going to see Superman T-shirts.
See,
and
so
for
I can
little
open
children,
my shirt, and there
right.
it is. It says Superman, right?
And for little children, you're going to see Superman T-shirts and accessories. It's not going to be as important as it is for women, because women can wear more camp things, I think, for discotheques and so forth.
They can get away with it, but men can't. It'd be
Right.
kind of hard to go in the office that way. I know it would be a little bit difficult to sit down with it.
But think
with
of
your
it
shirt
this
open
way,
and
it
just a little
would
bit of
liven
the
up the office. It might stir up a little motivation, a little excitement, a little interest in your office.
You might get fired, too. We got another model ready. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
Christy's got our little jogging, our boxer shorts, or our roller skating outfit on. They're the boxers, they're satin, and those are mink tails.
They are mink tails.
And she's got her Superman emblem. And I don't know if we can get a close-up on her heart if you have it turned on, Christy. Is your heart pulsating?
Does it
She has a great
it
little
beats.
heart, a plastic heart with a battery in it, and it pulsates. A little beat. Can we get a close-up on
I
that?
swan. Fantastic.
Isn't it fun? It's
is
your
fun.
baseball jacket, and she's got her Superman emblem on the back. Again, this sort of thing, all you'd change is the heels. You would put heels on instead of your jogging shorts, and you could wear it out to a discotheque.
Yeah, I guess you could. Okay, I thank you, my dear. That's lovely. Are we ready with our
And
next
for
model?
our final
The
change,
pièce de
we have the
résistance. Ta-da.
Superman cape.
Superman cape? I've
Right,
always
of
wanted
course,
a
you
cape, but I
gotta
just
have
never had the courage to put on a cape. I always wanted to. Count Dracula I always loved, because he had, that thing. Ah, here we are.
Ah, here she is. Here's our all-out disco look. Now you'll
What's the
have.
B for?
Well, the B is for Bloomingdale's. That's.
I had to ask.
You can have your S or your own initial. It's a fun look. And she's got her party disco bags with her, and she's got her
Two
gold
disco
lame. And
Is gold
just a-
lame as hot as it looks? I mean, it looks like,
physically, no, it is
ooh.
not warm it's not warm at all. It's very lightweight.
Ah.
It's very cool for discos. And again, she's got her sequin stretch top on.
Fantastic.
So it makes for a very exciting holiday season.
Are we going to have any more fashions in the future for super people and things like that, or is that's going to be it, huh?
Well, I think it'll be around for at least 6 months to a year. It's a fun thing.
enough.
But I don't think it's something you're going to see around like a Chanel suit for 50 years.
The fashion designers know how to make money, and Mr. Siegel and Schuster, who invented Superman, must be doing pretty good too. We'll be back with more on AM New York.
Glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and
Christmas excitement begins at Macy's.
Give him a gift and more this year with Gray Flannel by Jeffrey Bean, a timeless blend of manly fragrances, and receive a bonus 1-ounce bottle of cologne. Or give him the contemporary masculine mix of Givenchy Gentleman and get a travel-size eau de toilette as a bonus. And from Eau Sauvage, a handsomely styled folding attaché umbrella is his for only $6.50.
At Macy's, we have so much to give.
The majority of burglaries in your community are by forced entry through the front door. Now you can get security with multi-lock 4-way deadbolt system and pick-resistant cylinder installed in your door. Depending on the type of door, as many as 6 independent steel bolts emerge from inside and penetrate deep into the frame and floor on all 4 sides. Multi-lock 4-way security available throughout the metropolitan area. For information, call 889-9545, 889-9545.
I'm Christopher Plummer, here at the Metropolitan Museum, where the cultural event of the century is taking place. It is here that the great Tutankhamun exhibition was originally conceived and organized.
How the treasures were used to guarantee immortality for the ancient Egyptians, and to look at them as Egyptians see them today. Requiem for a Boy King, Tutankhamun, special, tonight at 7:30.
Oh, Boy, it's cold out there. You see that wind chill factor, 7 degrees? Whew. Tomorrow on AM New York, Detective James Wegman going to talk to you about home safety, and during the holiday times, that's very important. Excuse me, we're going to have Adopt-A-Pet, Dorothy and Mary Rogers on holiday moods, and we're going to find out, would you believe, we're going to find out if there's life after death right here on AM New York. Our morning movie, Run Wild, Run Free, Part 2, I guess it's the free part, starring Sylvia Sims and John Mills, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye now.